You know that feeling when you look at your dog or cat and think, I would literally do anything for you? Turns out, you're not the only one. And that exact feeling is fueling a massive, and I mean massive, multi-billion-dollar industry. So let's get into the surprisingly huge world of pet insurance.
Just look at this number. By 2030, the global pet insurance market is expected to be worth almost $30 billion. That is a staggering amount of money, and it tells you everything you need to know about how much we're willing to spend to keep our animal companions healthy and safe.
And it's not just that the market is big, it's growing at a wild pace. We're talking about a compound annual growth rate of nearly 16%. That is some serious explosive growth. And it's all driven by a few really powerful trends that we're about to unpack.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, why this market is blowing up. Then we'll talk about a big problem every pet owner faces. We'll break down how the insurance actually works, take a look at the global landscape, and then peek into what's next for pet care.
All right, so first up, what's really behind this multi-billion-dollar boom? Where are all these huge numbers coming from? What's the fundamental driver here?
It really all comes down to this one simple idea. For so many of us, our pets aren't just pets anymore. They're family, full stop. And that deep emotional connection, well, that's the engine driving this entire market. It's what makes us ready to invest whatever it takes for their health. Okay, so that shift in thinking leads us directly to our next section, because it creates a very real conflict for anyone with a pet today. We're calling it the pet-parent dilemma. And here's the dilemma in a nutshell. On one side, you've got us, wanting the absolute best care possible for our furry family. We're talking advanced diagnostics, life-saving surgeries, the whole 9 yards. But on the other side, veterinary medicine has gotten so good, so sophisticated, that those incredible treatments come with a pretty hefty price tag. And that tension? That's exactly where pet insurance comes in.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, how pet insurance works. This whole industry is basically the answer to that dilemma we were just talking about.
So at its core, it's actually pretty simple. Pet insurance is just a type of health coverage, but for your pet. Usually it works on a reimbursement model. So you pay the vet bill up front, and then the insurance company pays you back for all the stuff that's covered. Accidents, illnesses, and sometimes even regular checkups. Now, if you look at what people are actually buying, one type of plan totally dominates. The huge majority, 65% of all policies, are for accident and illness. And that just makes sense, doesn't it? It covers the big, scary, and super expensive unknowns that make people go looking for insurance in the first place.
Okay, so we get what it is and why people are buying it. Now let's zoom out in Section 4 and get a feel for the global landscape. Where is this industry really taking off, and who are the big companies behind it?
Right now, Europe is leading the charge, holding a massive 45% of the market. And that's mainly because pet insurance is just normal over there. It's super established in places like the UK and Sweden. North America isn't too far behind, but there's another part of the world that's coming up fast.
And that region is the Asia-Pacific. Yeah, it's a smaller slice of the pie for now, but it is by far the fastest growing market on the planet. This is all being fueled by a huge boom in pet ownership, rising incomes, and just a bigger focus on pet health and wellness in countries like Japan and China. Seriously, this is a region to keep an eye on.
And here are some of the heavy hitters making it all happen. You've got a real mix of players from those big markets we just saw. U.S. companies like Trupanion and Nationwide, Pet Plan from the UK, Agria out of Sweden, and Anacom from Japan. It is a very competitive global space. So that brings us to our last section, the future of pet care. Because even though this industry is booming, it's definitely not without its problems. Let's look at the hurdles it still has to get over and the innovations that are showing the way forward. Okay, the single biggest issue, the number one thing holding this market back, is the exclusion of pre-existing conditions. This is a huge point of frustration for pet owners. I mean, if your pet already has a health problem, getting them covered is almost impossible. And that creates a massive trust issue and just shrinks the potential customer pool. And the other major headache? You guessed it, the claims process. It can be slow, way too complicated, and just the pain to deal with. We've all been there with some kind of insurance, right? Long delays, confusing paperwork. It can really ruin the whole experience and make you wonder if the policy is even worth it. But here's the good news. The industry is fighting back with some really cool innovations, and things are changing fast. You see companies pushing into new countries, making it easier to sign up online, and even getting pet insurance offered as a perk at work. I think that Pumpkin Now service is a great example, tackling that slow claims process head-on by offering instant payouts. That's a game changer. And this is where it all gets really exciting. The biggest chances for growth are coming from technology and just smarter ideas.
using AI to make those claims faster and to create plans that are personalized for your pet. The idea of embedded insurance, where you can get coverage right there at the vet's office or the shelter, that makes things so much easier. And of course, just giving people more flexible, customizable plans so they feel in control.
So, we'll leave you with this question. We're at this amazing moment in time. Our love for our pets has truly made them part of the family. And at the same time, technology is opening up brand new ways to care for them. The entire future of this nearly $30 billion industry really just depends on how we, as pet parents, decide to answer that one simple question. What's the best way to protect the ones we love?